What's up guys, Nate here from Protoculture and Shadow Chronicles. Today we're talking about reverb plugins. If you haven't seen our top 5 dynamics plugins, go and check that one out. Today we're covering top 5 free reverb plugins you can go and download now and use in your productions. Each one of these are kind of special as well, so let's dive in and check out why I like each of these. I'll catch you in a sec. Cheers. Right, let's check these reverbs out. First up on my list is the Tel Reverb 4. This is a really great sounding reverb. It's super simple to use. Kind of reminds me a bit of like the Valhalla stuff. A really nice clean interface. This comes straight off the Tel sampler, which is a paid plugin, but sounds fantastic. I like using this on synths and stuff. It's got a really nice rich tone to it. Not much to say. It's pretty simple to set up: size, diffusion. You've got a pre-delay, modulation for the reverb, and a simple little EQ filter section. And let's just take a listen to this on some synth material. That's dry. We'll dial in some reverb. Modulation. And let's just open up the filter on this as well. So there you have a Tel Reverb. Really nice, handy little reverb to have. Definitely go check that one out. So the next one on my list is also pretty similar to that. It's quite a simple little reverb. Well, one really different feature that it has that I really like this for, it has got quite a cool filter section. You have this bandpass filter as well that you can add a bit of resonance and get some pretty cool effects with filtering that. Let's just quickly take a listen to what this sounds like. I'm just running this on one of the presets from the new Anna Techno Bank. Check that one out as well. There's some really good stuff in there. So this is dry. Let's bring in the reverb. Turn the damping down. Play with the filter as well. Now, the thing that I really like about this is the pre-delay. I don't see this in a lot of reverbs, even paid ones. You have individual settings for the left and right pre-delay. So when you do these at 2 different settings, you get a really nice sort of stereo widening, sort of ping-pong diffusion effect. We'll just take a listen to that now. We'll dial this in. Dry. Take a listen to this. Pretty cool little effect that you can get out of that. So this is Muverb. Go check that one out. So our next one's a bit of a weird one. This is from UHE, or Yuhi, however you want to pronounce it, called Protoverb. And I really like this one for one specific feature, and that it has a infinite decay time on the reverb tail. So just quickly, we'll just load up one of the presets. We'll just use that, dial in a little bit of reverb. I've just got a piano sample loaded into Anna, and take a listen to the decay time as we go up. And we can go right up to 100. And then it'll just hold it there indefinitely, which is really cool. Doesn't give you a whole lot of control over the actual delays going on inside of this reverb unit. But you can actually have a bit of fun with just sort of randomizing the models for the delays. You'll kind of get different effects every time. If you come across something you like, you can actually send the code through to UHE. This is what it was designed for, so that they can kind of get users to do their research for them on which sort of delay setups work best inside of this. You can also just enter pretty much anything you want. Put in Sonic Academy and take a listen to what we get. Cool. So that's Protoverb. Pretty cool little reverb this as well. Moving on, I've got an algorithmic room reverb, which for a free plugin, I was actually pretty surprised at how much control this gives you over your reverb settings. This is Oril River. It's a pretty good sounding little reverb. You've got your sort of pre-delay settings with control. You've got a number of different algorithms for the reverb and early reflections, which you can actually control separately over here. You can disable them, change the volume, the mix of the two elements of the reverb. You've got some diffusion settings, high dampening, your room size. This is modulation section here as well, and then an EQ section. These can be set to high pass filter and then change the filter amount there, or you can actually set them to shelving, and you've got a peak filter as well to or peak band that you can add a bit of EQ. I'm just going to quickly flick through some of the presets. I'm going to put this on a drum loop so we can take a listen. We've got this playing. Let's just take a listen to what this sounds like. It's a really nice, wide, spacious reverb. I like this on drum sounds. And yeah, for something that's completely free, I think this is a pretty decent offering. So lastly, the last entry in our top 5 reverbs, actually 2 parts that you're going to want to grab. I wanted to get a convolution reverb in this list, and Sir 1 used to kind of be the big daddy for convolution stuff, but it's been discontinued ages ago, and it hasn't been updated for 64-bit, so I'm not including it here. I did find this Convology GXT, which is actually pretty good. It gives you quite a bit of control over the impulse responses, which brings me to the other part of this. What you want to go grab is the Samplecity Bricasti M7 impulse responses. These are fantastic sounding. This is the Bricasti M7 reverb, which is a rather legendary reverb unit. At the time of recording this, I had a bit of an issue finding their site. It seemed to be down, but if you use Wayback Machine, you can actually get a cache of the site and still download the files. Hopefully they will sort that out soon. But once you get those, we'll take a listen to those now. This comes with a small library of its own impulse responses, but you can use the file browser. So I've got the Samplecity M7 impulse responses here. Let's take a large, deep, or maybe one of the concert halls. Let's go for Amsterdam Hall. We'll try that out. Just load in the impulse response, and let's take a listen. I've just got a piano. It's the dry version. Let's put in our reverb. And you can affect the scale of it, so default it should be 1 times with no stretching. There we go. So this is great for kind of space, natural spaces, vocals, acoustic instruments and stuff. You can use this on other things as well. But the beauty with convolution is that because you can load pretty much any WAV file into this as a impulse response source, you can do some pretty wacky things with it as well, like for instance reverse the impulse response. And then you can also use sort of sources that aren't designed to work as reverbs at all. So what I wanted to do here is just show you a little trick with using a convolution reverb like this. I've actually loaded in a tom from Sonic Academy's dubstep library. So it's like a tom sample, and we're running it in reverse. I've just adjusted the start time slightly on it as well. You've got some EQ settings here that you can play around with, also the decay time for which parts, frequencies are going to decay longer over time. But let's just take a listen. Just a lot of techno tracks have kind of got that sort of nice big sort of room ambience, that sucking ambience underneath the kick. I'm running this as an insert now. You might want to actually do this as a send effect, but just take a listen to the kind of effect that you can get with this. This is dry. You can hear that kind of sucking ambience that you've got going on there. That is actually a tom sample being used as the impulse response source. And you can adjust it as well. Let's take a look at some. It's playing forward again now. That's stretched it out slightly. It also gives you this nice distorted kind of low end. Anyways, so yeah, you can kind of go to town with loading in all sorts of files, vocals, effect samples, whatever you want, and play around with this, not just as a reverb, but as a sort of sound design tool as well. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up our collection of free reverbs. I highly recommend you go check these out. Also, if you haven't seen it, go check out the video we did on the top 5 dynamics or compressor plugins as well. And yeah, happy producing. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll catch you soon right here at Sonic Academy. Cheers.
Thanks everybody for watching, commenting and indeed liking. We really do appreciate all the support we get here on our Sonic Academy YouTube channel. So if you found this video super useful, please, we'd love you to hit the subscribe button. We update the YouTube channel every week with new content. And if you want to watch some more relevant content, just click on the videos beside me.